Okay, so I'm showing Anna how I measure. So as I said, in this jar I have rice powder. So this have 3 teaspoons. It's a measuring cup on it. So I'll fully. So as you can see, Anna, it's at one teaspoon. So I put 1 teaspoon here. And all you need is 1 teaspoon, unless you have a big face. Just joking. Right. And then this is the honey. We can also use this to measure the honey. And since we're pouring the honey into the rice powder, it's okay if you use the same jar. And I'm also going to leave it at 1 teaspoon. Right. Just for measurement. So telling the customer or the client or a person how to make it, unless they see you doing it, it's a little bit different. So this is why I am showing Anna exactly what I'm doing. And this is a spatula. So I'm going to use this to mix it up to show her how thick the paste should be. And this is how thick the paste should be. This is it. And this is what you should get.
And this is the mask, right?
Yes, this is the mask and the treatment.
Okay.
So this was the rice powder that I chose. So since I didn't use it, I'm going to just put it back in here. Just to show you what it is. Because when it's in the jar, it's hard for you to see what it is. So here we have these a lot of fine bumps and blackhead here around his nostril here. And right here, so it's very dark. And around here. So Anna, this is how we apply. Now, this is a warm towel, so I'm just going to use this to cleanse his face. Remember, you can use a steamer, but I'm just using the warm towel to open up his pores. So I'm just showing her the towel way. Even so, you can even leave the towel on. So what if Anna wants to leave the towel on for a little while? She could leave the towel on for a little just to open up his pores. Right? Just in case you don't have a steamer. These warts, thank you. These warts are genetic warts, right? That means that it's in his genes, and if you shrink them, they will come back over the years, so it can never completely go away. But you can keep on shrinking them and also burn them off, but they will never go. It always come back. Okay, so remember I used the towel to show you how you can steam the face, and also if you have a steamer, you can also use the steamer and hold it over the person's face to steam. How long you steam the face for? You can steam up to 5 to 15 minutes. You can also go up to an hour if you're cleansing the face for a deep cleanse facial. So the heat, so if you notice the tension on his face for the heat, so you know you have to stay a little bit wide because it's burning him. So you don't have to ask how near you should stay with the steamer. Just watch how he reacts with his face. So if I go near, you will see he cringe like that, so you know it's too hot. So the far you stay, you will notice how comfortable he gets. So because I steam his face already, I'm just showing you other ways of steaming the face. So I'm not going to steam for long. I'm just going to show Anna now how you apply the mask. Okay, so this is the rice powder, and I said why I choose a rice powder facial for him. He has a lot of white head and he eats a lot of greasy stuff, not drinking enough water, so the rice powder is good, and it's also a good recipe for the plant, for the warts and his face and for the spots. And he also have a lot of sunburn, so rice powder is good for sunburn. What was that, Anna?
I was asking the rice powder, what will the rice powder do to the warts?
It shrink it over a period of time.
Okay.
And also, you know, when you have on warts on your face, it make your skin coarse. It will also soften it up.
Okay. Would you recommend this type of facial to someone who uses a lot of makeup?
Definitely. It deep cleanses the pores. And you know when you're not getting proper facial while doing your makeup, you will have a lot of build-up on your face, and the makeup will no longer look smooth on your face, and spots and a lot of blackhead. And most people think it's only blackhead alone will be on their face, but not really. You will also have the makeup going to the pores, and you'll see these black spots with big bumps and hard underneath the flesh. So you will think it's blackhead when it's makeup build up in your pores, because you never close your pores. As I said before, you have to close your pores before you put on your makeup. So this is nutmeg, guys. When I said use nutmeg, I'm talking this one for the facial. So what I'll do, I ox it like this. So these little things that come off. And might I add, if you're making porridge, this is good to go in your porridge. And then this shell that it comes in to preserve the nutmeg, you can crack it open, and it cracks open. And then you have this nice ball that comes out. This is it, right? And then you use a grater. This is a grater. I've just, if you see some dust on it, I've just grater, and I always grate a turmeric on it, so that's why it's staying it like that. So I'll just grate it like this. And you will get the pounded dust. So the second ingredient that we'll mix now, it's nutmeg, and honey is still in this, so I'm just going to continue to use it. And the reason why I use these two recipes tonight is because they do the same thing. The only thing, one is more active, meaning that if the skin is very sensitive and if you have acne, it is very good for it, and it's the nutmeg. Now I'm gonna use the same teaspoon of nutmeg. So I'm just gonna measure it in here. And normally, if people don't say teaspoon, they said 1 part or 2 part. It's mean the same amount of one ingredient to the other. So this is 1 part, which is 1 ounce if you are using parts. So I want to make sure it's fully 1 ounce. Same thing if you're using 1 teaspoon, it still means 1 part. Okay, and then I'm gonna use honey. Now, because the person's skin is very sensitive, I'm going to go ahead and mix something else in it. The person's skin is very sensitive, and I'm saying person, it's Anna, from the last video. So her skin is very sensitive, and I'm going to use a little baking soda in it. So I'm going to use half teaspoon of baking soda. Half teaspoon of baking soda, because her bumps are well swollen, and the baking soda will help to take it down, and it make the product more active, meaning it give me a faster result. So this is why I'm going to use baking soda. Now I need a little oil in there, because even though her skin is oily, it's a between combination and dry, as I tell her before. So I'm gonna use a little bit of olive oil. She can also use coconut oil, but I'm using olive oil instead, because as you know, olive oil is good for acne. So just 2 drops of olive oil. I'm using the big bottle. I measure the drops, but when I mean drops, you can use a straw to take it out. Olive oil is very good for acne. And remember, it's supposed to be extra virgin olive oil. Now, if the person's skin is well dry, meaning it's dry skin you have, not combination, not oily, dry skin, use coconut oil. So now I'm going to use the honey. We want to get rid of her acne completely. So this is the honey. And since I'm not using back this, and this is a different spatula, might I add, so you don't use back the same thing. No, I never leave my tea tree oil. Once you have acne, whatever you're using on your face, make sure that you have tea tree oil. Okay, and I'm going to use 2 drops of tea tree oil. Oops, well, that ended up to be 3 drops, but 2 drops is enough for 1 facial do. No water is in this ingredients. And the last ingredients that I'm going to put in this, so I hope you guys remember everything that I use. So I mix it up because there is no water supposed to be in there. This is what it looks like. I still need to add 1 more ingredient, and it's skim milk. So Anna is going to stay 30 minutes with this on her face. So what the skim milk is going to do, it's going to tighten up her face in the meantime. So she will feel the reaction of the skim milk. Now, did you have to mix the skim milk with this treatment? No, you could have done it separately. But I'm going to do it in 1 do. 1 part skim milk. If it's 2 part nutmeg, it should be 2 part skim milk.
Can you please remind what you said the nutmeg was going to do?
Remove the spot from your face.
Okay. So would it have been a good combination to mix the nutmeg with the rice powder?
Yes, it's good to mix it with it, but because you have the acne and your skin is so sensitive, the rice powder is too coarse, too harsh for your face.
Okay.
So that is why I don't use the rice powder. So this is what the mask look like, right? It's very thick paste. And might I add, you might be tempted to eat a little. So don't. It smells great. So now I'm going to put Anna to lie down, make her very relaxed. So remember the ingredients. It's 2 part nutmeg, 2 part skim milk, half teaspoon baking soda, 2 drops of tea tree oil, and 2 part honey. all mixed in one ingredient, and 3 drops of extra virgin olive oil. If you have dry skin, you use coconut oil. On Anna's face here, she has a lot of spots. Just look on them, and a lot of fine bumps, and we want to get rid of that without irritating our skin. So this is why I didn't use the rice powder on her skin. After 2 or 3 treatments of this one, she can go ahead and use the rice scrub, because the rice scrub is well harsh, but the nutmeg do the same thing, but it's not so harsh on her skin, meaning coarse on her skin. So this is why I choose the nutmeg. Alright, so I'm going to apply the nutmeg on her skin after I cleanse and steam. What am I going to use to cleanse your face? I recommend people who have acne to use one of the best products is Neutrogena facial cleanser for acne. Or you can use your normal witch hazel. If you want to stay natural, you can also use vinegar. So I'm going to use the witch hazel to cleanse her skin. As you know, witch hazel, it has so much antioxidant properties in it, and that is why I'm going to choose witch hazel to cleanse her skin. Then I'm going to steam and apply the mask to her face. We're not going to do any extraction, because the mask should be able to extract everything from the bump, and I do not want to irritate her skin further. So this is why I am going to use the witch hazel, which also helps to bring up anything that is underneath the skin that we do not want there. So just cleansing, not steaming. Basically, I'm not doing a full facial, just showing how the masks work. If you want to see a full step-by-step facial, there are videos on the channel. This is just to show how the masks work, and I'm just cleansing before, because everything that you do, you have to cleanse first. Okay, this witch hazel is Benjamin's, and it's not an ad. I'm not advertising for Benjamin's, but I use Benjamin's witch hazel because it's having distilled extract in it, and also it comes with tea tree oil. And as you know, I love to use tea tree. So with a piece of cotton, with a cotton swab, I'm going to mix it with witch hazel, and I'm going to use it to cleanse her face. Remember, this is not a step-by-step facial, just showing how I use the different masks and how I choose the skin type to use a certain mask with. If you want to see a step-by-step tutorial, you can also go to my alicare.com and request a private video. We can also do Skype, where you can send me up close, or I can see the skin type you have and recommend a video, a private video for you, and charge $50 US for a private video that will help your skin type. Now I'm going to use the steamer and steam. Why I steam before I do apply the mask? Because if Anna wear makeup, what would happen is that the makeup will go in her pores and clog it up. So I steam and open up the pores, that the mask that I'm using can go beneath and get all of the makeup, the blackhead, whiteheads from her skin, and all the spots. And if she has any bumps that is irritated, it can also heal it from within. So this is why I steam, to open up the pores so the mask can work properly. Now there's something I have to tell you about steaming. If you know you're not going to be consistent with your facial, do not steam the face long. Now, look at Anna's face. She has some bumps right here, right? If I steam it, what would happen? I will able to get down this bump. But there are other things that lie beneath the skin, or should I say in the pores. Once you clean off the outer surface, that would give it way to come up because it's unwanted in the skin, but because the pores was clogged up, it wasn't making its way out, so it stayed there and form a hard little knot underneath the skin, and because we cleanse it, it is making its way up. Now if you do not have the time to do a proper facial to cleanse off that, it's only going to irritate your face further. So most people do facial and afraid to do it back because they said that when they do the facial, they find out that their skin irritated more, so they think that is the product allergic to them. No, that is not so. It means that you need a second or 3 more facial. How often you're supposed to do a facial? Make sure that you do a facial at least once per month if you're not following up. If you want to do a proper facial care, 2 times per month. And then after you treat your face and everything is okay and you see the treatment is working for you, you can continue to do once per month after 3 months. So now the steamer is ready. I'm going to open up Anna's pores. And let me tell you, the more you steam the face and the client can bear it, it relaxes the facial muscles. And also put the clients to sleep. Remember, there are different ways of steaming the face. So don't look at it and say, okay, I don't have a facial steamer, so I can't do facial at home. Boil some water. I do have a facial video. So if you look on my channel, you will see facial video where I use a basin and I put my head down. The only thing that is wrong with that facial, if you have sinus, you're going to have a little problem because it will cause your sinus to drain. So what I do, I put a little salt in the water for bacterial purposes because my face will be over in an open, hot water. So I put a little salt in the warm water. Also, I put cotton on my nostril and breathe through my mouth. When I'm doing that, it will prevent my sinus from draining. So guys, if you want a separate video for that, since as that video is consists of many other things, I will definitely do it. Ways of steaming your face if you don't have a facial steamer. So now, how do you know that Anna's pores is opening? First of all, one of the #1 signs to look for is that she will start sweating. The next thing, again, everybody have hair on their skin, whether it's your face, your foot, or your head, even if they're very fine. So I'm just going to use the normal term. You will see the pores start swelling. Have you ever get a fright yet, and when you look on your hair, you see they start swelling and your hand feeling funny? You will see that effect on her face where the pores them start to opening. You notice all those little fine bumps that you weren't seeing start to show up. So I'm just trying to explain it the way how you can understand it. Now I'm easing away the steamer because I can see that Anna can't take too much of the heat. So I'll stop and ask her, Anna, is the heat okay?
Yes, it is.
Okay. If you can bear the steam, the best you can steam for is 15 minutes. If you don't want to steam for at least half an hour. So because Anna have decided to do her facial treatment to get off all the spots, we are going to steam Anna's face for 15 minutes and maybe more if she can bear it, so she gets a proper facial. Now, when you're mixing the ingredients for your face, do not mix it and put it down, especially the nutmeg, right? I had was to mix it before because Anna wanted to see how it mixed so she can do it herself. But I recommend not to mix it unless you're going to use it directly because the honey have certain antioxidant properties that need to break down on the skin and not in the container that you mix it. also the skim milk have a way of start taking effect once ears start to catch. Okay, so this is what the product look like on Anna's face after 25 minutes. It's also tightening up her face, and you can see the glow. If you can see some part clear, that's where the milk changed from its milky color and starting to tighten up our face. The longer it stay on your face, the more active it is. So it's up to you after the 25 minutes if you want to continue to let it stay on your face, because the longer it stay, it's best for you, but I recommend that it stay for 25 minutes. I'm going to cleanse this off her face, and after I cleanse it off the face, I'm going to use cold water to close back our pores. After I cleanse it off the face, I'm also going to use witch hazel again to cleanse the face, and then use cold water to close back her pores. And this is how you use this recipe that I've just made for Anna's face. So I'm gonna use this to treat Anna's face over a 3-month period. You already see how her face looked before we had started the facial. So we will continue, and you will see result gradually. As every step that I'll do, I'll definitely show it on the camera once Anna is willing to continue to participate on cam.